Hey, 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 beautiful children of light. Welcome to this edition of the Daily Divine for March the 4th, 2026. My name is Lisa Diane Lyle, and I am here. Well, this is my heart here on YouTube. And it feels like today's messages are here as an offering of love, support, and encouragement for all of us, myself included, so that we remain the course of our heart. We're at the tipping point, folks, whatever that means. I'm not quite sure what it means. It was a specific message that I've been receiving around the energy of the Virgo total lunar eclipse blood moon that we just had yesterday, like just 30 hours ago. And so the energy today, we're going to get into it. And these are going to be collective messages for all of us and really for the child that lives within us who may be at this point in time of this transition, maybe feeling a little trepidatious, maybe feeling a little uncertain, maybe feeling a little nervous about life. And it really feels like these messages are coming forth with the intention of calming us and supporting us to stay present in the moment. So, with that being said, I'm going to get the Palo Santo going and then I'm going to get myself comfy. You'll have to forgive the noise around here today. It seems like they're drilling or doing something. Maybe they've taken a break for lunch now. So, maybe I hopped on at the right time. And you may be feeling in the last 24, 36 hours, you may be feeling a little, I was thinking just before coming live, here it goes again. I'm feeling a little frazzled. And then of course, the way my brain works, I'm like, Frazzle Rock. Remember Frazzle Rock? My sister loved Frazzle Rock when she was young. So at this time, I'd like to ask that I am a clear and pure channel to bring through messages from Source Divine, loving and kind, with the intention of supporting the brilliant child of light that lives within and seeks to thrive and shine at this time. Whew. Hey, hey, Wolf Mother, welcome. I'm feeling frazzled, man. I'm like the lady in black today. It's just like, I don't know. It's like, look, my hands like trying to put the Palo Santo down. My hands like shaking. I'm all like, ah. I think a part of it here is like this construction or whatever's going on. It's got me wound up. And the dog this morning on the walk, trying to boss me around and show me where we're going. And I'm like, no, I've had enough of this. I've literally had enough. For those who have been asking, my cat, Tristan, he's still with us. My son is having a hard time saying goodbye. So hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have that all sorted out. That's a little frazzling as well. So I want to share what I was guided to do this morning because like today is Whimsical Wednesday and we usually tap into the child of light that lives within us. And we're still doing that today. And yet I was very strongly guided to gather up all the cards that we've received in the previous 3 days and to sit and organize them according to numbers. We have a lot of recurring numbers here, a ton of recurring messages. And then I was guided to go to decks that I often use for myself. And they had me split the decks to bring these messages through. And the first deck was the Lemurian Star Child Oracle, which we use here all the time on Whimsical Wednesday. And this is where I split the deck. And so, as we're feeling a little frazzled or as we're feeling a little uncertain, I mean, life is uncertain, right? It's like we're on the escalator of life. And, the earth is moving beneath our feet, and it's up to us to maintain our own stability. And so, because this is what we're here for, and this is what we're manifesting, like we are knocking on heaven's door, or perhaps heaven is knocking on our door. And, heaven is a state of mind, is what I've come to realize. And yes, there are aspects of heaven that can enhance the whole experience. And yet, it's truly about what we do with what is present for us, moment to moment. And so, this is an 11. All are invited. Fifth dimensional, new earth, spirit in matter. We're in Pisces season. This is about spiritualizing the material experience. Those markets are going to crash soon, folks. Are you ready? It's a joke, because if that's where we're invested and if that's where we've staked our claim in this life, like we're in for a rude awakening. A lot of folks are in for a rude awakening. And those of us here, we are on the path of continual awakening, day to day. Day to day we continue to awaken, and day to day we may be feeling with the energy of the full moon, and full moons always have a tremendous impact on us, and especially lunar eclipses. And it's not a flash, like it didn't just happen yesterday morning at 6:40 whatever, and wow, it's done. No, like it has, these are bigger cycles, and we're the blessing, and we are meant to um, stay focused on the blessing that is our life, not to be less you or be less me, to be grateful for the experience of being who we came to be, and really being proud of ourselves if we have the courage to do that in the world that wants us to, play small, stand down. No, we're sacred ground, and we're standing our sacred ground. Honor all life, exchange of joy without karma or sacrifice. We've done that, right? We've walked the path of sacrifice. We've walked the path of karmic healing. And the south node of the moon has been in Virgo. This is the karmic path. This is the direction of the karmic experience. And then we have the north node in Pisces, the destined experience, the spiritualized experience of the divine human. And then next, I was guided to split the deck. And we got the eagle. You know me, I was like, oh my God, like it doesn't get any better. And the eagle is the messenger. It's like the almighty winged wise one, if you will. Where all other birds turn and move away, fly away from the storm, the eagle flies through. And feathers may be ruffled. We may lose a feather or two. What a gift for those who find it. We may lose a feather or two. We are here directly communicating with a loving source. God speaks through our heart. God speaks through our heart. And we just, beyond our thoughts, beyond the mind, the sacred heart is beating. And this is speaking about how powerful we each are. And this is a really powerful time. I mean, time is, time is an illusion and all of this. Yes, we know this. And yet, we also know that we are here for a finite period of time in having a temporary human experience beyond the mind. And like the spider, we are weaving our web or casting our nets of love into the world. And this is like, bringing it all together. The spider energy here is the 7, the chariot movement. And I guess that's the tipping point. If we're not going to move, if we're not going to change, if we are resistant to all the clues we've been receiving in order to have the experience that we came for, of the heavenly experience here on earth. And again, maybe it's a state of mind, a state of heart, whatever it is, it's joyful, it's living art. And the spider is a powerful messenger for us at this time to remember that all are interconnected through the web of light. And we are here. Perhaps we throughout our lives, and maybe even now at this point, we're getting tangled up in our own thoughts, our own, Yeah, mostly thoughts. Mostly thoughts is what we get tangled up in. And so we're here to detangle. You know, back in the day, they had stuff you could spray in your hair to detangle it. Or if you've ever had a tangle in, a fishing line or something, it's like it takes some patience. It takes some, commitment to detangling the line. And so we are detangling through our mind, if you will, and we are weaving um, these beautiful streams of light into the here and now as we continue to work with God playfully, because that's what God encourages the children to do: play, sowing seeds of love, harvesting from the garden that they've sown, living and being nourished within a garden that's our very own home, beginning with our vessel. So then, this is the most interesting messages. Well, they're all interesting. But this week we had a ton of two energy, and here they all are. And so I'm guided to show you all the two energies. So discernment, which is, and these are all 20s. These are all 20s, these cards. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 20s, which comes to 120, which is this energy of three, the three energy, the Empress energy, and the message that comes with 12 is being the channel of light. 20 is the judgment card. Discernment is the higher vibe, if you will, of judgment. Judgment's when we're pointing fingers out there and we're like, oh, yeah, this person's that, and that. That's a great starting point for us to begin our own journey of, realizing ourselves and our own, the word that came in is idiosyncrasies. Um, but perhaps, yeah, let's just leave it at that. So, what these are all saying is like, we're here to harmonize, and we are here to harmonize from within our experience. And then, as we begin to allow ourselves to be the instrument of the divine, perhaps, we, others who harmonize at the same frequency are going to be drawn into our experience. And it's up to us to use our discernment, not our judgment. We're not here to judge one another. We've done enough of that. And those of you here have grown up, and now you're working with the energy of discerning what feels right and true for us, and operating from that space, because that's a really more inclusive vibe than the judgment, because judgment is like, I'm better than that. No, 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 no. And if you see something in that, you better go and have a quick look in the mirror, because you wouldn't recognize it if it wasn't an aspect of your brilliant self. And so, as we use our discernment, we are rising, singing our soul song, singing our healing songs of love into the world, casting our net, weaving our web of light, and going direct to source for um, direct to source for the answers that we seek. And direct to source is right back to the heart that beats within you and I. And we're protected as we traverse this journey. I trust many of you here feel like you have been protected throughout your life. You may feel like you're a living, breathing miracle. And the reason you feel like that is because you are. We all are. We just forgot. And influence. Like this is the day and age of everybody wants to be an influencer. What kind of influence would you like to have on the world around you? I would like to have a positive, uplifting, encouraging influence. I'm not here for the fame and fortune and money. And if that was what I was here for, I would have given up on this a long time ago. This is my heart's calling to share. And with the hope of like just touching one heart, being a drop of love in someone's cup. And, that's the greatest gift we can give. And we have to show up and be the drop of love. We have to love up on ourselves before we're able to consistently and with any level of authenticity show up in the world that way, show up for others in that way. So being aware of what the energetic is that we're bringing to the table. And because, life is, it's about cause and effect, choices and consequences. And to not make a choice is making a choice. Right. And it's funny because I forgot that word, but this is one of the other cards that came out today. We'll get to that in a moment. But we are here at this point, the tipping point, because we have continued to make choices to cultivate the love in our own life, to become the embodiment of the vessel of light and the messenger of love in this world. I mean, that may sound airy fairy, but like, what important works are you doing? I'd like to know. I'd like to know what everybody feels is like important and what it is that you bring to the table, the feast of plenty. And then under these two energy cards, I was guided to put these three cards, which are the 10 energies. And this is, we are infinite and eternal, and right here and now, we are in service to the love that never dies. And the potential for us to achieve in this lifetime anything that we can imagine is unlimited. We are so supported, and we must not quit. And this is the tipping point, because there may be some out there that want to give up, throw in the towel. This is too hard. I've worked too hard. I've come too far. And, perhaps it's time for a change of course. No, stick to the path your heart has chosen, because this is the new beginning. By staying in our heart, it's up to us to trust that all is well, to trust that we are guided and supported by a loving universe. We're not here to put the car in reverse and go back to something that hurt. We are giving birth to sacred earth, heaven on earth. And that is exactly what we've come for. We are in a higher vibe. So these are 3 10s. This is the begin again point, the tipping point. We are here holding a high vibe. And so this is about us at this time maintaining our stability, getting out of our mind, not getting tangled in the thoughts, staying in the heart. This is, the most beautiful space of all, because we are the ones here shifting the frequency. We are the frequency shift. And as we're shifting, we are creating our own beautiful mythic reality, sacred earth, sacredness, bringing righteousness back to the human experience. We don't have to say, I'm right, you're wrong. Righteousness, reverence, walking the devotional path. And, perhaps becoming the lovers so that we get to experience divine love in this lifetime with the other, the co-creative energy, the sacred partner. For those of us who are here to step into roles of leadership. And again, it comes from a space of the heart. And it's a vibrational thing, and we'll feel it. We're not here to judge anyone else's or say if anyone else is living in integrity or not. That's our work. Are we living in integrity? Because if we're not, we'll feel it. We can say whatever we want to say. It's a vibration. We'll feel it. And so how are we doing with that? Are you continuing to, hey, sweetie, are you going today?
Not for the 16th, I'm on.
Oh, okay. Shoot. Yeah, we'll feel it. We'll feel if we're not in integrity. So this is our work to do, right? And so with the 2 energy, these cards also came out when I split the deck: the counting coup, victory, and healing. This has been our focus. We can't be concerned too much with what other people are doing. we ought to be more concerned with what we're doing in our day to day and aligning with the highest vibe that we can, holding that frequency, taking care of ourselves. Again, under the influence of this full moon and just before the birth of the true new year, this is a good time to clean up our act. I don't know what that means for you. It's an individual thing. And we're not to give up because we've got the victory card here. Keep walking, keep going, keep I just heard have faith in the seeds you have been sowing. Victory is yours. Don't give up. And that's an eagle feather in his hand. You are directly connected to a loving source. And that loving source has provided you all the inner resources and offers you all the clues. It's up to me and you to be the vessel of awakening each day. And we do that. This was really beautiful when these cards came out because look, this is all the same color here. And I saw the core wound first and then the higher choices. The core wound I feel for all of us is the wound of abandonment, the wound of separation, right? And that happens early in our life, this core wound, right? And then it's perpetuated throughout our life because at some point in time, we abandon ourselves. We feel separate from the world, usually because of our choices, because of our judgments, because of our tangled thoughts, because of our wounds. And so those of you here have done very good work addressing the core wound. And I would venture to say that core wound, if you haven't quite healed it entirely yet, you're well on your way. Keep going. Victory is yours. Don't give up. And these two cards, look at the colors. They're very similar. This is about being grounded, going back to our roots. We can't go back and change anything. Nothing can be changed. We can't change anything we said. We can't change anything we've done. Nothing that's been done to us can be changed. All we can do is change ourselves so we don't go insane, running down the same vein of, heartache over and over and over again. We're here for the higher love, making higher choices that support us to rise up and not feel so alone in the world. I mean, we've never been alone. And yet, you know what I mean when I say that. I trust you do. We may have felt alone. May have felt abandoned. And then somewhere along the way, we abandoned ourselves. We stopped listening to our intuition. We gave up on our inner vision, our sacred vision. Nah, that's not for me. I'm not enough. I don't deserve that. And then we knocked it off because life wants to knock our socks off. I laugh because I really want to cry here. Life wants to knock our socks off, right? And, perhaps we're getting close to the time where, we can take our socks and shoes off more and feel how connected we are and continue to make the higher choices. Continue to choose love over and over and over again. Continue to remain faithful to the path we have been devoted to for much of our life. And in particular, if you've been rolling around with me for the last couple of years, there's been a lot of changes we've gone through. Hey, glowworm, welcome. We've gone through a lot of changes in the last few years, and it hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of healing. That song. It's gonna take a lot of love to change the way things are. It's gonna take a lot of love or we won't get too far. And it has taken a lot of love. And whoa, hi-hat. It has taken a lot of love. and we got ourselves very far, and we have overcome and traversed timelines beyond our mind. We found ourselves again. Hey, Kiki, welcome, sis. We have gotten ourselves here, and you are not here to give up on yourself now. And this is the tipping point. The ego may be saying, child, bow down, stand down. And love says, child, stand your sacred ground. Don't turn around now unless you're doing the hokey pokey to turn yourself about, because that's what it's all about. No one else is going to do it for you. It's about your choices to heal the wounds that live and breathe within you. And many of you have been doing it. And so thank you. And this message today comes as a message to not quit, not give up on yourself. You have invested rightly in yourself. You have remembered who you are. And you are meant to share your heart with others. You're meant to share your stories, singing songs of freedom, let it be. Let us each sing our own unique song, even if our voice shakes, even if the earth is quaking under our feet. We are not here for defeat. We've come too far. We have overcome that which wanted to keep us small. Kicking the can down the road, moving the goalposts a little further. You, me, all of us have always been the gateway. And the message for all of you here today is that love wins over and over and over again. It was really funny. I was looking through my memories on Facebook last night, and I came across a memory that I posted, I'm not sure how long ago, maybe 6 years ago or something. And so 6 years ago, we're 2026. So Frank had been transitioned. He had been dead 2 years at that point, 2+ years. And I had carried around, I even moved with us to the other location, this box of Melba toast, like odds and ends, like that he had in the kitchen. I wasn't ready to let them go. And so I guess this particular day, I must have been packing up for our first move after he passed. And I was feeling this overwhelming grief connecting with a box of Melba toast. And so, some of you, I'm sharing that because some of you, grief moves through us in interesting ways. And it's the little things sometimes, throughout my journey of moving through grief, there was a lot. And grief is not just because we lose someone in our life. Grief can also be for what we feel we may have lost or missed out on in life, or the stolen innocence of the child, or the abandonment of the child. Grief comes from many places. And it's the little things that often have a tremendous impact that support release. So this day, when I connected with the box of Melba toast in 2020, there was a lot of grief that came up at that time. And, and there was also, reading that post, there was also there was anger. I was angry at that time because I felt abandoned by people in our inner circle that loved us, that loved me while he was alive. And so that was a really, for all of us, that can be a very challenging thing to overcome, that people that we once were close to and that once shared a loving space with us turn and run, or perhaps show their true colors when the end comes. So you may be feeling waves of grief coming up. Allow what needs to be come through, allow it to move through. This is how we heal. And this is true for all of us. So let's just get us a couple more cards here. And then, it was just 1221 there. Aw, this is the new beginning. On your mark, get set, slow. Right? On your mark, get set, go to joy. This is the 19 energy. I'm glad it came up because we have other 19s here. We have joy. We have the word joy here. And this guidance, trust your source. Who's your source? Do you go to the mainstream media for info for the 411? Who do you run to? Do you run to a friend? Where do you go to get your information? To the stream I go. Off to nature I go. Where do you go? Into the heart I go. Deeper into the breath we go. This is what we're here to trust because we're here for joy. We're here for fun. We're here for playfulness. This is almost like, I know I have often said, we don't want to have expectations. And it's almost like God expects us to get going and have some fun now. This is God's expectation of us. We've walked the path of forgiveness. We've walked ourselves home. And now we are aligned with our path of service to the divine, to shine. That's literally what our path is, to shine light into the world, to be kind, to be generous, to be loving, right? And those of you here are all these things. So thank you for the love that you bring into the world and into my life. And this is speaking about the cellular changes. And we can go, oh, well, but I'm not doing much. I'm not accomplishing much. You're healing. Healing requires time. We have to allow for downtime. We have to allow for rest. And the external is built against us in that way, right? We got to go, 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 nose to the grindstone, punch the clock. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Good old Dolly, right? She was singing it back in the 80s. Working 9 to 5. What a joke. What a joke. Perhaps we're meant to be, what is that? Is that the yoke on the oxen? What is that thing? They just showed me an oxen and the yoke. Perhaps we're meant to be yoking the oxen. Is that right? Is that what that thing is called that they put on them to walk, like to move through the fields? I know this is like old school. I'm having like a vision from ancient of days, or perhaps Little House on the Prairie days. I think that was called a yoke. I'm going to look that up after. If somebody knows, let me know. Weirdest things pop in sometimes. So yeah, you're changing on a cellular level. And as this happens, right, we're carbon. They talk about carbon emissions and reducing carbon. We're the carbon they want to reduce, folks. And so this is why it's so important for the high vibe tribe, like you and I, to stand our sacred ground and to become the stable vessel of love in this world. And because as we do that, we become more crystalline. We are the alchemists that are moving from carbon to crystalline structures. And that's why crystals and things are so important. This is why nature is so important. The natural world, everything external leads us away from the natural world. It leads us into trespassing, right? Leads us into trespassing against one another. We're the birds of a feather that flock together and rise because we've opened the inner eye. Source resides inside, and we are intimately connected to Source. And we are the ones who have grown ourselves up into this playful, childlike energy. Giddy up on the back of our freedom horse. So keep going. Oh, and these 19s come to more 10s. So we've got 5 10s this week. The new beginning. I mean, I'm not here to convince you of anything, right? What is it that you're going for? What is it that you would like to experience here? Because everything's here for us. We got the manifest energy 3 times this week. Manifesting heaven on earth, manifesting, making it real in the here and now as the frequency shift. The Archangel Michael manifestation card speaks about wealth and prosperity. And then the other manifest card speaks about co-creating, divine alignment, joyful visions. I mean, if you don't have a joyful vision, well, come back again. Maybe I'll help you to clear the vision, because joy is not outside of ourselves. Happiness is an inside job, folks. That was one of the great messages I received years ago, drawing a circle of chalk around myself and being told happiness is an inside job. Now go do some hopscotch. Hop, skip, and jump your way to fun and back into the embrace of eternal love. Letting everything go, dropping the burdens, forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, as we continue to cultivate the consciousness of the light within us. So let's get a couple or a return to spirit. And we cultivate through simplicity. And this is about us remaining confident in our skills and abilities. We each have a different skill set. Mine's singing. Oh, yeah, no, I just joke. Mine's whatever. I mean, I don't know. Mine's just being present and being here and sharing what I'm guided to share as we continue to shift and change our mind, a change of mind, the cosmic butterfly. I love when they keep saying, keep looking, Lisa, keep looking. The cosmic butterfly here to take flight. And it's really about the elementals, getting back to the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities, bare feet on the ground, getting to nature, not bowing down, observing nature. Everything's beginning. Not that everything was dead in the winter. It was like the dormant season, but there's a lot going on in the dormant season, right? And we could think of rest as our dormant season. And so now we're beginning to wake up again. There's an excitement in the air. The days are getting longer. The sun is shining a little bit more. The snow is melting around here. And now the muck is out. Trying to avoid the muck. But it's in the muck that the lotus flower grows, reaching up towards the sun, right? Through the water element, following the sun, until that brilliant lotus or water lily sits above the water, all like proud and beautiful. Look at me. Look at me. That's the simple pleasures of life, right? And we're allowed to change our mind. We're allowed to change. Most of us don't have so much a change of heart. It's a change of mind, because the mind prevents us from aligning with the heart. Right? So keep going. Okay. Let me just look at some of these comments. Thank you, Wolf Mother, for the extra love and strength for us and Tristan. Tristan's ready to go. My son, just before he left, says he's going to be home here for the next week or so. So I'm hoping by Friday we can do the right thing. I'll check that song out, Wolf Mother. Glowworms in the house. Yay. Dolly. Yeah, Dolly was big back in the day. Her coat of many colors, Jolene and Jolene, Jolene, Jolene. I don't know. I just want to sing. Any recording artists out there want my voice? I could be backup. I could be the backup singer. All right, let's see what wants to come from the Queen of the Sun. Ah, yeah, yay. And this one, okay. So this accomplishment, we saw that last week. I don't know what's behind it yet, but the accomplishment card is like this, victory. And it's the 6th card, the choice point. Higher choices for what? Love, the love that we are, to be the embodiment of the lover. And it's almost like dolphins. They just showed me this vision of dolphins sending their sonar. vibe out into the world. Or perhaps we're bats sending our radar out into the world, drawing into us the other bats and the other dolphins that are meant to be a part of our experience. Oh, that's funny. And yeah, in order to achieve some soul satisfaction, we got to take action. Love is an action, it's not an emotion, folks. We get overly emotive, and the greatest, I guess, realization for us comes when we realize that love is an action. And I believe it was Scott Peck where I first read that in The Road Less Traveled, that he made that statement that love is an action, not an emotion. And here we got that billy goat, mountain goat energy. We have climbed to our mountain. You'll notice it's another two again. The high priestess doesn't, the high priestess doesn't, Lisa, we can be the backup finger snappers. Is that what you're saying? Working 9 to 5 or working 3 to 11. It's not a bad way to pass the day. I guess it's good for entertainment most days. But yeah, the high priestess, the two energy, the high priestess doesn't doubt herself. She knows, and she confidently grows from that space of knowing that victory is hers, victory is his. And we're going to just get a couple cards to close it out here from the Magdalene Oracle. Look, at the bottom of the deck, show the world the real you. The real you is more beautiful than any fake that you can put out there, whether it's the dyeing of your hair, the making up of your face, the clothes you wear. I mean, yes, it's important for us to take, I feel it's important to take pride in how we present ourselves in the world. And it's not necessarily pride. We want to show up. I'd like to show up well put together. I mean, I'm wearing clothes for the last 20 years and I seem to make it work, right? Like, showing up as we are. We don't have to put anything on our face. We don't have to dye our hair or, follow the latest trends that the influencers out there want us to follow. All we need to do is be the real you, whatever that looks like. You're beautiful. Your heart is the most beautiful part of you. And so, can you see that? Do you feel that? They're saying just cut the deck. So purgatory, it's like, where we go for punishment almost. So this does feel like some of you may be rehashing things that aren't meant to be rehashed. Stop lashing yourself. That hurts. Walk the path of forgiveness. 33, the path of the Christ. The resurrection of the light. You are this. We are this. Let's stop being so mean to ourselves. It's no wonder the world's so mean, right? Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. Be the one who rewilds themselves, wild girls and boys, coming back to the earth, back to the rivers and streams, washed clean, living sacred dreams. One more. Within the matrix, we break free. Who knows what this is? Is it a video game simulation? Are we within a matrix? Or just this, who knows? I don't even try to figure it out anymore. What I do know is I reside on a planet called Mother Earth. And what I do know is I connect with all the beautiful things on Earth and even the not so beautiful things. We're all a part and parcel of this experience. And those of you here are experienced and well-versed on the path of healing and showing up for yourself over and over again. And so perhaps by being the real you, we are, as we become the real, Lisa, Wolf Mother, Kiki, Zach, as we become who we really are, we are the glitch in the matrix. We get the fresh start. We get the heaven on earth experience bringing Eden back to earth. It was four, triple fours there, because we walk with angels. Some of us are earth angels. Again, would we know? Doesn't matter. Let's just identify as human, HUE, men and women, God's children, the children of light, who perhaps were born into fright and now have healed themselves and are ready for flight. We got the flight card, right? We did get the flight card. I don't know where it is. Where is it? Oh, no, I don't know. We got the take flight card. Is it on the bottom of the deck somewhere? Anyways, it doesn't matter. We saw it here today. I'm sure I showed it to you. So finally, let's end this. I hope this is making sense. Is this making sense to all of you? I really didn't know what I was here to do today. Emotional healing. Here's more twos, everyone. Trust yourself. Trust yourselves. Muck off. Wax on. Oh, no, wax on. Wax off. Clap on. Clap off. Clap on. Clap off. The clapper. Oh. It's funny the things that stick with you from when you used to watch a lot of TV, eh? My Canadian showing. My partner would for sure. He's learning how to DJ and want to sample all sounds. Oh, he wants me and Lisa as backup singers and finger snappers. Finger snapper. I could go for some red snapper, actually. I've been craving fish. Lise, thanks. So are you. Just here for the wisdom or the entertainment. I mean, I don't know if there's a pearl of wisdom here. That's the thing. We don't have to understand. I just show up because I'm called to show up. And I am so grateful that in the last couple of years, and in particular the last 17 months or so, 15 to 17 months, it's been consistent. I'm so devoted to the path of the higher calling, a higher love, having the experience that I was born for. And it's here. I feel it here. And it's because and we get to feel and experience wishes and dreams because we continue to show up for ourselves. And so this whole message today is for those who may be feeling uncertain and a little trepidatious and unsure. This is the new beginning. You get what you want when you go for it and show up for yourself. Fertility. And we are giving birth to the golden age. There's another two again. So the highest, the biggest, most recurring message here is the two energy. High priestess. Trust your knowing. If I say something here that doesn't feel right for you, trust that. Trust it. I'm human like the rest of you, HUE. And like the rest of you, I'm here to experience being divine human. I am here to restore righteousness, pride in being the child of light. We don't have to hide. We're not here to run for cover. We've come up out of cover. And now we are here to rediscover the joy of being the highly creative, incredibly talented child of light that we were each born to be. With that being said, everyone, you guys, that's so sweet. Thank you, Wolf Mother. I see someone gives me a compliment and I'm like, aw, that's sweet. Thank you so much. Wolf Mother says, I always make sense. Oh, okay. I guess to those, I'm glad I make sense to some. That's awesome. I always think back to Frank saying, oh, woman, sometimes you sound like a Rhodes Scholar and other times like you're out in outer space. And I said, I know that is a part of the appeal. And he's like, you're right. It's a delight. So, yeah. And I'm just so grateful to be at 55, level 55, 55 years old. And really proud to be Lisa Diane Lyle, really happy to be alive. And you here, all of you here, really support that happiness. You're not responsible for it. You support the happiness and joy. And I just love coming here and sharing. It's really, my heart's calling. So thank you so much. Zach says he's just here for the wisdom. Yeah, and I send you all so much love. Again, I trust that something here resonated. We'll be back here tomorrow where we'll see what we're going to play in. I'm just going to go moment to moment as I try to do these days. And yeah, so here the sun is shining. I would encourage you to get out and enjoy some of the sunshine. And we'll reconvene here tomorrow at the most divine time, 11:44 or 55. We'll see. Until then, I want you to know I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thank you so much for showing up and pouring into my cup. If you're new here and something resonated, please do consider just hitting that little subscribe button. It sort of helps to balance the exchange, and I'm grateful for the balanced energetic exchange. So until tomorrow, everyone, Zach, Lisa, Wolf Mother, and Kiki, thank you so much for being here during the live. I love you all so much. And let's get out there and snap our fingers and do a little dance. And we'll see you all here again tomorrow. Until then, everyone, take good care.